General Hospital spoilers reveal that Tracy is struggling to accept the crazy reality that Drew has created. Every time she thinks he can't cause any more trouble, the truth proves her wrong. Now, the information about Drew sleeping with both Nina and Willow has caused Tracy to lose her composure. She never considered him trustworthy, but this has taken things to a new level, a degree of vulgarity and shamelessness that she has never witnessed in her family. For Tracy, it was already too much that Drew was manipulating those around him for his personal gain, but the fact that he had relations not only with Willow, Michael's former wife, but also with Nina, her mother, is a disgrace she can hardly swallow. Throughout her life, Tracy has witnessed countless family scandals, but this is an insult that crosses the line. Not because she cares about Drew's romantic life, but because his actions are tarnishing the reputation of the Quartermaine family. Tracy has always been proud of her lineage, despite the ups and downs, but she would never stand by and let an outsider destroy it in this way. What's even more frightening is that Drew shows no sign of regret. He continues to walk around town as if he were untouchable, ignoring the consequences of his actions. Tracy cannot take it anymore. She has let Drew get away with too many mistakes, but this time, she won't stand idly by as he ruins everything. People may fear Drew because of his political tricks, but Tracy is not the kind of person to be swayed by someone like him. Tracy knows that if she wants to take Drew down, she needs a perfect strategy. A direct attack will not be enough. She needs a deep, powerful plan, a strike that he will never see coming. Tracy has thought about using Emma's video, posting it on social media to ruin Drew's political image. But that's just the beginning. If she wants him to truly fall, Tracy must hit Drew where it hurts the most, his reputation and the power he takes pride in. She is also not afraid to seek allies. Carly might be the most reasonable choice, because if anyone hates Drew enough to want to destroy him, it's Carly. Nina could also become an important pawn, as if Tracy can make her realize that Drew is only using her, Nina might not hesitate to strike back. And if Tracy can prove that Drew has been manipulating both Nina and Willow for his personal benefit, that could be the final blow. But Tracy is not in a hurry. She wants to bring Drew down perfectly, leaving him no way to bounce back. With a carefully calculated plan, she will wait for the right moment to deliver the fatal strike. And when that happens, Drew will no longer be a threat to the Quartermaine family. This is not just personal, it's a battle to protect the family's legacy. And Tracy has no intention of losing this fight. Emma has just discovered new evidence, a piece of information that could completely change the course of the war against Drew. The chaos Drew has caused is not only limited to the scandals already known, but it also opens up a new, more dangerous and scandalous chapter. This evidence not only sheds light on his suspicious actions but could also be the spark that ignites a political crisis, threatening the position Drew is desperately clinging to. This signals that big changes are coming, and Drew might have nowhere left to hide. Tracy, with her sharp and decisive nature, immediately recognizes the value of the evidence Emma holds. She understands that this is not just a rumor or a small scandal, but an opportunity to wipe Drew out of the game. In Tracy's eyes, Drew has gone too far, doing too much to manipulate those around him for his personal gain. From his complicated relationships with Nina and Willow to exploiting power for profit, he has become a thorn in the side of not just Tracy but many others in Port Charles. But this time, Tracy won't just stop at criticizing or threatening. She's planning a direct assault, using Emma's evidence to land a fatal blow on Drew. But Tracy is not an impulsive person. She knows that a wrong move could ruin everything, and Drew, no matter how detestable, is not easily toppled. He has allies, power, and is willing to do anything to protect his position. Therefore, Tracy needs a tightly constructed plan, a perfect strategy to bring Drew down without leaving him any chance to strike back. She begins gathering more information, searching for allies, and thinking about how to use this new evidence in the most effective way. If she were to make the video or documents Emma holds public, it could spark a backlash from voters, causing Drew to lose credibility in the political world. But that still won't be enough. Tracy wants to make sure that when she strikes, Drew has no way of recovering. She considers approaching Carly, who has enough motive to want to see Drew fail. Carly could help spread the news quickly, turning it into an unstoppable scandal. Nina, who has also been a victim of Drew, could be convinced to join in this campaign, especially if she realizes she's just one of the pawns in his game. If Tracy can rally these people behind her, Drew won't stand a chance. And most importantly, Tracy understands the political system and knows how to apply pressure. If she can convince the members of Congress that Drew no longer deserves his position, if she can make them see him as an opportunist exploiting his position for personal gain, then stripping Drew of his Senate seat will no longer be impossible. As the plan begins to take shape in her mind, Tracy smiles coldly. This is not just a fight against Drew, it's a battle to restore the honor of the Quartermaine family and cleanse it of the one who has tarnished it. Drew may think he's untouchable, but he'll soon realize that when Tracy Quartermaine targets someone, that person never escapes. And this time, she won't stop until Drew loses everything. Drew once thought he could control everything, from his political career to his scandalous personal relationships, but this time, he has gone too far. The dirty secrets about his insider trading deals and shady agreements have finally been exposed. What once was mere gossip has now become an official investigation, plunging Drew into the most dangerous spiral of his life. Emma, who was the first to hold the crucial evidence, provided enough data for Tracy to take action. Not only did she exploit a video showing Drew's absence during a congressional session, but Tracy also uncovered signs of illicit financial transactions. The secret deals Drew made to profit personally from his Senate position are now undeniable proof of his abuse of power and serious legal violations. With her sharp mind, Tracy wasted no time connecting the dots and making everything explode. The first blow came swiftly and was unavoidable. Drew was stripped of his position. Political colleagues, who had once turned a blind eye to his actions, were now forced to turn their backs as the scandal was exposed in the media. No one wanted to be associated with a politician involved in insider trading and illegal financial activities. Drew lost his Senate seat, and with it, all his power and influence were washed away. But Drew's tragedy didn't stop there. At the same time he was ousted from politics, federal investigators came into play. Official charges were filed, including insider trading, abuse of power for personal gain, and other unlawful financial activities. Strong evidence from secret financial documents, along with testimonies from those who had worked with Drew, made the case irrefutable. Drew, who once believed he could overcome any challenge, now had to face an unchangeable truth: he was headed back to prison. After everything that had happened, this was the inevitable outcome. Without the cloak of power, without relationships to rely on, Drew was left with only himself. And the consequences he had created. Tracy showed no mercy. She had seen enough of Drew's antics and had been waiting for this moment for a long time. Now, she could watch her enemy crumble without lifting a finger. She didn't need to pull Drew down. His own reckless actions had dug his grave. In the end, Drew not only lost his reputation, power, and position in politics, he also lost his freedom. When the prison doors slammed shut behind him, Drew realized that this time, there would be no chance of coming back. Tracy had never been one to accept Drew's presence in the Quartermaine family, and now, she had the chance to remove him once and for all. His removal from the Senate was just the beginning of her plan to bring him down. For Tracy, watching Drew lose everything wasn't enough. She wanted to make sure he would never rise again, with no power, no influence, nothing left to hold on to. And her next target was ELQ. ELQ was not just a corporation, it was the symbol of the Quartermaine legacy, the foundation that Edward had worked so hard to build. Tracy couldn't accept that someone like Drew held stock and a voice in this company. She had always seen him as an outsider, someone who only used the Quartermaine name to climb the ladder of power but was never truly deserving of it. Now, with Drew losing his political standing, Tracy knew this was the perfect time to act and kick him out of ELQ. But Tracy never acted without a perfect plan. She wasn't just looking to oust Drew from ELQ, she wanted to take all his shares, leaving him penniless. To do that, Tracy needed a knockout blow, undeniable evidence to make the board turn against him. Luckily, she had the most important pawn in her hands, Emma. Emma had initially just wanted to expose Drew's wrongdoings, but she had no idea she was being skillfully manipulated by Tracy. By guiding Emma in a certain direction, Tracy made her gather the most damaging evidence against Drew. Information that could be used to ruin his image not just in politics but also in business. Insider trading documents, shady deals, Drew's use of power to manipulate the market, all of it was ready to become the bomb that would destroy his career. When the right moment came, Tracy made her move. She revealed Drew's suspicious transactions to the ELQ board, planting seeds of doubt about his leadership abilities. She didn't need to directly accuse him, just sow the seeds of suspicion and let the powerful people in the company draw their own conclusions. As she had predicted, the board quickly made its decision. Drew was no longer fit to hold his position. A vote took place, and the result was no surprise. Drew was ousted from ELQ. But this was just the first part of the plan. Tracy didn't just want Drew to lose his position, she wanted to make sure he didn't have a single penny left from his shares. She manipulated the market, causing Drew's stock value to plummet, forcing him to sell in a desperate attempt to salvage something from his ruined reputation. And when the time was right, Tracy quickly bought up all of those shares, permanently removing Drew from ELQ. While Drew was still reeling from this shock, Emma also began to realize the truth. She thought she was just helping expose Drew's mistakes, but now, she found herself entangled in a much larger scheme. Drew's supporters began to turn on Emma, accusing her of intentionally aiding Tracy in bringing him down. The pressure from the public, media attacks, and rumors that she had been manipulated caused Emma to fall into a deep crisis. But Tracy didn't care. She had achieved her goal. Drew was no longer a senator, no longer had power, and no longer held a position in ELQ. All he had now was a ruined reputation and a future full of uncertainty. Tracy knew that Drew might try to resist, try to turn things around. But she also knew one crucial thing: Drew had nothing left to fight with. In the end, Tracy could look back at everything she had done and feel satisfied with the results. Not only had she removed an undeserving person from the Quartermain family, but she had also ensured no one could challenge her power within ELQ again. And with Drew completely out of the picture, she could focus on what she did best: holding and solidifying absolute power within the Quartermain family. Anna had never been one to back down, especially when the safety of her loved ones was at risk. With all the recent upheaval, she realized she couldn't rely on anyone else to protect her granddaughter. Anna had to act immediately, not just to protect her but also to ensure that no one could get close to her without facing consequences. This wasn't just an emotional decision, it was a shift in how she approached everything. A wake-up call that the world was still full of people ready to exploit any weakness. And this time, Anna wouldn't let that happen. She didn't waste any time starting her plan. First, Anna set up a tight surveillance system around her granddaughter. She didn't just rely on regular security systems but also kept a close personal watch, tracking every possible dangerous connection. Anyone who came close to her granddaughter would be closely monitored, and any suspicious actions would be recorded. But that wasn't enough. Anna knew that to truly keep her granddaughter safe, she couldn't just react when something went wrong. She had to proactively eliminate danger before it had the chance to escalate. With her experience in intelligence, Anna began tracing potential threats. She used all the relationships she had, from old allies in the government to reliable sources all around Port Charles. She investigated those who might have a motive to harm, delving into shady dealings that could be linked to the new threat. And when she dug deeper, she uncovered things that made it impossible for her to stand still. There were people watching her granddaughter, and secret deals seemed to involve targeting her. This wasn't a coincidence, and Anna knew that if she didn't act now, it might be too late. But she also understood that a battle like this couldn't just rely on basic security or surveillance measures. She needed allies. Anna began searching for those she could trust, people who could help her stop this threat before it turned into a disaster. She reached out to those who had stood by her during dangerous missions before, people who knew that when Anna Devane took action, there was no room for mistakes. At the same time, the shadowy figures stalking her granddaughter began to realize they couldn't operate in silence any longer. Anna had alerted them, and they knew that if they didn't act soon, they might lose their only chance to achieve their goal. Old enemies reappeared, faces Anna had once thought were gone now lurking in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to strike. But this time, Anna wasn't just waiting. She was ready. Her resolve was becoming clearer, and this brought a new side to her character. Anna was no longer just a seasoned agent, she had become a woman ready to do anything to protect her family. She didn't care how far she had to go, didn't care about the consequences of her actions. All she knew was that her granddaughter would never be harmed, and if anyone thought they could outmaneuver her, they had made a grave mistake. But as Anna carried out her plan, she began to realize something alarming. Her granddaughter might have become a target not just because she was related to her, but because there was some secret Anna hadn't yet uncovered. There might be a deeper reason why these people were targeting her, something Anna hadn't considered. And this made her realize that this battle might be bigger than she had imagined. As the situation grew more tense, Anna knew she couldn't afford to delay. She was preparing for a fight not just to protect but also to uncover the truth. And if that meant facing the most dangerous enemies, she was ready. No one would get close to her granddaughter without paying the price. No one would threaten her family without being punished. This time, Anna wasn't just a protector, she was a warrior, and she would fight until the end.